Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Neurotic News. Thanks for listening, as always. Rathi, how are you?
Yeah, I just been eating a lot at restaurants. Like, I went to a really good place. It's called Gourmet Curry Hut.
Gourmet Curry Hut.
It's like one of those. It's like Jiro Dreams of Sushi, where it's like in a nondescript location, but it's amazing.
Right, I see what you mean. It's not a fancy,
But they're just doing a great job.
They're doing a great job in homely settings.
Yeah, it's the type of, you could really get your Homer Simpson on. Like you can, you know, when you're eating like 7 things at the same time. You know when you're in a group and there's so many meals, but no one's talking?
Right, yeah.
It's like a trough, like a feeding trough.
Because everybody's eating so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, undo the top button type shit.
I kind of live for those moments where you can't talk because everyone's eating.
Right, yeah.
Like in a frenzy, people were in a frenzy.
It is a unique time socially where it's just like, look, we're all subconsciously agreeing here and no one's going to talk because this butter chicken, tikka masala, naan bread
is off the hizzle.
Yeah.
And people even going like, this is good. Like you can hear people like are grunting and shit like,
Pigs at a trough.
Yeah, it's pigs. You're like, we're all pigs.
I think Western society loves a trough. Like we want to go to the trough, you know, because like people worked out in the 80s basically that Westerners really want a trough in the postmodern society. It went from meals and everyone was thin, you know, after the war. Like you never see fat people in photos from the 1940s onwards.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You see them at the beach, they're all stick thin because they just had regular meals with a plate and knife and fork.
Yeah.
But yeah, then in the 80s came the smorgasbord, which was an attempt at a trough, basically, and sushi train and all you can eat. There were all these attempts just like, look, we're not going to go fully trough, like an actual trough, like a pig, but, you know, like this is the closest we can, you know, get to a trough. Like having a conveyor belt of food, which is what sushi train is. You know, that's a conveyor belt of food. It's trough adjacent.
Yeah, it's like the baggage carousel, but with bits of sushi.
Yeah, bits of fried
with
chicken.
Sashimi.
Yeah, sashimi. Yeah, like it kind of makes me think of like a giant sushi train, but it's like the baggage carousel, and it's like a giant piece of raw fish, bit of whale or something. Anyway, yeah, that's right. It's trough adjacent, but I wonder who's going to be the first person to just come to trough. Like it'd be in the name, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
it's like Korean trough, and it's just it's an actual trough, and you put your fucking face into it, and you eat like a pig, and they embrace it. You know, like the staff are wearing pig outfits and so on.
Yeah,
like because you know, like the smorgasbord, the train. All these names are in the restaurant name. Come to the trough, and the staff walk around with cute, you know, beautiful hot men and women in pig outfits. Coming.
I like the idea of they tie your hands behind your back. The maitre d' ties your hands behind your back, so you just have to feed with your mouth.
Yeah.
So you're just covered in Korean barbecue.
I could kind of see that happening, man. Like I could see people getting into the trough, you know?
Yeah, I mean, well, this time I was with these people where there was a trough.
Trough-like.
I mean, you get the little curry bowls. They're like little mini troughs. And people are shoveling it out.
Right, yeah. It is despicable eating at Indian in particular.
It's a type of meal where you have to go home after.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like
the night's over.
Yeah. Well, yeah, if you're going to see a movie, see it first.
Yeah. Like even watching a movie's off the cards after Gourmet Curry Hut.
Well, you can't go into a Cineplex covered in lamb korma. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, yeah,
like
socializing's over.
Yeah.
You're sick, you stink like shit, you're covered in, you've got stains on your shirt. You know what I mean?
You're not going to go clubbing.
Yeah.
Like I like the idea of going to a rave.
After Gourmet Curry Hut.
Like just someone who can't time events properly. Like they go into the rave, they're like, yeah, I'll do MDMA.
Yeah.
With a belly full of chicken tikka masala, just like feeling tired and just sweating and just feeling like confused and sad, like on the dance floor, like full of curry.
Dude's like, I took 2 MDMA. Like, yeah, man, I had 4 samosa. I'm fucked. I can barely stand.
I double dropped.
It's like a korma hole, like a K-hole.
Yeah, I'm in a K-hole, a korma hole. Because I ate like a pig.
Like a fucking pig at the new Trough restaurant in Newtown.
But it was like,
dude, let's go to Trough tonight. People saying that. Let's go to Trough. Let's have Trough.
It'll be in keeping with the infantilization of society.
Meaning?
Just like that is in keeping with everything. Just like just feeding with the
infantilization in the sense that it'd be childlike, kind of
also
game-like.
People aren't socializing anymore.
Right.
So maybe you just go to the trough by yourself, have your arms tight and just feed.
Go to the trough with blinkers on. You know, like a horse.
Yeah.
So you don't go to the trough. That's really the ultimate postmodern experience because you're eating at a trough and you've got blinkers on so you don't have to look at anyone or engage socially.
Yeah, that.
And you walked in by a lead like a horse. Yeah. And you led to the trough.
That would be good because it'd cut down on choice paralysis. Like I look at those horses and I'm jealous. You know, the ones that are just, we're going forward. I look at them and I'm jealous of
going forward.
Of their life.
Right. You're jealous of a horse's life because it can't see sideways?
It's not seeing another horse doing better in the periphery. It's just like that'd be the good for the trough because you're on the korma. Like you're just korma now.
Right. So you're saying horses being led around with blinkers on can't look sideways and see a horse that just got a promotion and a new car while you're a struggling comedian, hypothetically.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, like look at that carriage.
And then they come to your show, the horse with that horse comes to your show and is like, oh, do you make money off it? Like, do you make money doing what you do? It's like, yeah, a little bit.
Maybe. I haven't looked into it.
But, you know, if you had the blinkers on, you might not see that horse. Anyway, that's all I'm trying to say.
No, I think, because
I'm just saying that they do that.
Yeah.
They come to your show and go, your friends that have like high-paying, stable jobs and go, do you make money out of it? Because they're curious, like, if they could have.
They'll go to the best show you've ever done and go, weird crowd. And you're like, really? I thought they were the best I've ever had.
So, yeah, they seem a bit weird to me.
Yeah, and you're like, really?
Yeah, no, the trough would be good to be led by like a horse with blinkers on so you don't have to deal with other people and you've got you get the trough you're given.
Yeah.
So this is your trough. You're like, oh, okay, chicken, fair enough. And you eat like a pig.
Yeah, it's not like a cafe where you order the beef brisket, but you can see a spanner crab omelette from the side.
Right.
Because you got the blinkers. You're like, this is all there is. Feed on the brisket.
Yeah, I see what you mean. So it's not going to make you have FOMO.
Yeah,
of other people.
Even the language that people use with food now is kind of dystopian. Like people go, my feeding window's open when they're fast. Do you know what I mean? Like a feeding window sounds like you're a velociraptor that's being tossed a lamb's leg through a cage, right?
Yeah, it does.
That's what I think.
The velociraptor's feeding windows open. Everyone come watch.
Yeah, and
they toss it up a dismembered cow.
It's like Gary's feeding windows open. Lead him into the trough. Susie.
Yeah.
With a leash and the blinkers.
Yeah, lead Gary and his feeding window is opened.
Yeah.
And also choose your protein, as you would say. Yeah. You go to a restaurant or like, you know, a takeaway place and it's like this curry and then a vegetarian and choose your protein.
Yeah.
For your green curry, choose your protein. Yeah. Choose your protein.
Count your macros and choose your protein.
Count your macros, choose your protein because your feeding window's open.
That's the modern day gulag.
Yeah, it sounds like you're lining up in a fucking jumpsuit at a prison camp.
Yeah.
Everybody, listen, the feeding window is open. Choose your protein and macro and move on.
When we're in the Amazon gulag, run by Jeff Bezos.
Oh.
It'll be, do you know what I mean? It'll be like a sterile clinical gulag where you're kind of like, yeah, it's kind of all right, isn't it? I don't mind the gulag. You do get to choose your own protein, so it's good to have autonomy.
Yeah, you have a little bit of freedom. You get to choose your protein.
It won't be quite as bad as the Stalin Siberian ones.
Yeah, where you work to death.
Grave.
Yeah, I don't think when you're digging coal in Siberia, deep under the earth, and you're allowed to work to death, that Stalin was like, and you can have prawns.
Yeah, you can choose your protein, and one of the proteins is prawns.
Choose your protein. There's prawns.
Meal prep as well.
Yeah.
Gonna prep meals, batch meals.
Yeah.
For the week.
Prepare your portion-controlled meal prep for your feeding window and make sure you choose your protein.
Calorie count.
It does sound like a prison, doesn't it? Everything that is purported to be freedom is now our slavery. Anyway, one of your favorite dishes is the Rogan Josh. Will you put that in your trough?
That's going in, yeah.
That's going in the trough.
Yeah.
How does Rogan Josh, like, where's that on your list of Indian food?
In the pantheon of dishes.
Is Rogan Josh up there for you?
It's in the top 10.
Right.
Sure.
It's not a very big.
Yeah. That is most of the menu.
Yeah, that is, yeah. There's literally 10 dishes.
Do you like it?
Look, I like the name, Rogan Josh, because it reminds me of
Josh Rogan.
Yeah, like it could be Josh Rogan, could be a character like the Indian equivalent of Joe Rogan, but it's Josh Rogan.
Yeah,
and he's like, listen, you do the ice bath, and then you'll get better testosterone in your bloodstream. Like, you see what I mean? That's Josh Rogan. Dude, I tuned into Josh Rogan this week. He had an archaeologist on. How long did the pyramids stay under? They conduct electricity.
Yeah.
You know, like the UFOs landed at the pyramids and so on.
You've got to get into the sauna.
The UFC, very good. Like
the sauna is a
Josh Rogan.
The sauna is a korma. You get into the korma. And you sweat in the korma. Releases neurotrophic factors.
There's a lot of serotonin released when you get out of ice bath. Thank you for listening to Josh Rogan.
You get in the lamb korma and you sit in the korma and you sweat. It gets hot in the korma. And then you get into the mango lassi and it's cold and you shiver.
And this is going to go down as the dumbest shit we've ever said,
then
I think.
You dry off with a naan. Towel. A towel.
Fucking hell.
I was just trying to use the whole meal as a wellness.
Right, retreat.
Protocol.
Yeah, I feel like we lost a few subscribers there.
But it is weird that they've got a curry named that.
Josh Rogan. Rogan Josh. I wonder what Josh means. Is that an Indian? That must mean something in Indian.
It must mean something.
Indian language. Hindi.
There's a journalist called Josh Rogan too.
There is?
Yeah.
There's a journalist called Josh Rogan.
Yeah. I saw him on the news the other day.
And it made you think of Rogan Josh?
Yeah. It made me think of Joe Rogan and the curry.
Oh, fuck.
A 2-for-1 meal deal, as they would say.
What do you think about Joe Rogan having all these billionaires and so on his, you know, having Elon Musk and Trump and all these sort of powerful people, Zuckerberg? I mean, I guess what I'm saying is I sometimes wonder in my mind is like, are these people actually going to be looked back on in history as evil?
Yeah.
And would he be, is it a problem that he's given them a platform, or is it just a case of like, they have a platform, it may as well be his, or let's hear their voice? I don't know.
It is weird that it's like there's platforms now for just oligarchs to appear vulnerable.
Yeah, you're right. The podcast, yeah, it's a different time.
So a techno-feudalist oligarch can go on a podcast and talk about the fact that they are distracted sometimes.
Well, yeah, that's the thing that pisses me off, is that you'll get a billionaire go on a podcast and talk about how he's socially awkward, how he has mental health problems, his keto diet and all this shit. Like they're relatable, but they might be destroying the social fabric, corrupting democracy, creating mental health epidemic through their app, but here they are in a fucking jeans and t-shirt acting like they're just regular people.
Yeah.
That part I don't like. I don't want my evil, powerful people to be vulnerable or relatable. You know?
They're trying to have it all.
Yeah, you can't. Don't. You're powerful. Why do powerful people want to be vulnerable now?
Yeah.
And appear regular so they can be more evil and shit and get away with it. That's why I respect Kim Jong-un.
Yeah.
You know? I don't like what he does, but at least he's not trying to be relatable. He's like, I am not like you. I am different to you. I am powerful. I am not, you know, he's like, he says shit like, I invented basketball and golf and I get all holes in one. I was better than Michael Jordan. You know, he's not trying to be relatable.
Yeah, he's not going to go on North Korea's one TV channel and talk about the time he couldn't get it up.
Exactly. But they'll do that shit
he was
on Rogan.
Molly.
Yeah. He's the only fat guy in the whole country.
Yeah.
Takes a fair bit of balls to do that, you know.
Like imagine if he tried to cast himself as a body positivity icon in North Korea, a country struck by famine.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he just did a magazine spread and he's like big and loving it. And he's like, I eat what I want because it doesn't matter what you look like when you're the supreme leader of a...
And if you disagree with me, I'll shoot your family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like powerful people used to be unrelatable. They used to be powerful and secretive. They'd live on the outside of fucking town wearing a cape, and they'd be in a castle on the edge of town on a big mountain. And every now and then when the villagers got pissed off, they'd get torches and go and kill the cunt.
Yeah, that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
Because now you've got, Mark Zuckerberg talking about his bowel movements, how he's getting them measured because he thinks he's a celiac.
Right.
Or has Crohn's disease, trying to get vulnerability points. Meanwhile, Kim Jong-un's like, I don't have an ass.
He's like, I don't have an asshole.
And if you say I do, I will kill you immediately on sight.
Yeah.
I prefer that consistency.
I prefer it because I want to know the enemy. I want to know the who's the bad guy. I don't want to be confused. You don't know who the bad guy is. Like, like in the old movies, Dracula, be out on the edge of town in a castle, controlling the town with his mind, killing people at night, unapproachable, unrelatable. No one knows where he is, what he does, secretive, wearing a cape. If he was around today, be on Rogan talking about how blood improves your stem cells.
Yeah, he'd be like, actually, I was ahead of the times with the blood because now we've seen that it extends your life when you get the blood of a young man and suck it in and actually changes your hemoglobin.
It's actually very good for you to drink the blood.
Yeah.
It is actually very healthy. It creates a youthful glow. It's good for skin. I don't know what accent this is.
The Transylvanians were actually very much oppressed by the Germans. They were seen as Slavic, which was less than. We were seen as a slave people to the German. So, I'm a victim in a lot of ways. And I've sucked a few necks. So be it. But it's helped me live long. No wonder Dracula was 1,000 years old.
Yeah,
if he's getting blood transfusions, he's like that Brian Johnson guy.
Yeah. They do drink blood, don't they?
Yeah.
They have blood transfusions.
Tech oligarchs are vampires now.
They're sucking off us. That's the thing. Billionaires in Silicon Valley, they mine data.
Yeah, whereas Australian billionaires just mine.
They're just regular mining.
Yeah.
Gina Rinehart's got a jackhammer and so on. She's just digging up the earth.
Clive Palmer's in a hard hat. Andrew Forrest.
Yeah.
They're all in high-vis.
Yeah, because they're actually mining for real. Whereas in Silicon Valley, it's data mining.
Yeah. It is funny that in Silicon Valley, they're just mining like the very essence of your soul and your preferences and your private life and then using that, like they're mining it.
Right. The essence of who you are.
But then in Australia, we're just literally on a jackhammer, just like doing the original.
Yeah, just digging coal out of the ground.
Yeah. It's like we didn't think outside the box.
Yeah.
We're like minerals in the ground.
That's easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't really future-proofed, have we?
No.
Because, people aren't mining that kind of stuff as much anymore.
We're like Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Where how Saudi Arabia never you don't think of Saudi Arabia for its tech startups?
No, you think of it for the beheadings.
Yeah, and the oil coming out of the ground like a whale's
Spout.
and just
Is that what Abu Dhabi is?
Yeah.
Where they've actually just invested all their money they made from oil into just like mad resorts and shit?
Yeah.
And technology? Yeah,
That's kind of Australian thinking, eh? We'll make Whitsundays Resort off all the iron ore from the Pilbara mines and funnel that into slippery dips at a resort.
Yeah, fuck, some of the Arabic shit they're doing like in those countries with the oil money, like crazy new futuristic cities and stuff. It's pretty wild. It's kind of crazy actually. You know, like there was a shift with technology. Like the more technology improves, the worse it is to get older. In a sense, like I remember I was around, you know, pre-internet, obviously, and you know, old people were on top. People wanted to get old in a way because they wanted to be wise. They wanted to be respected as a community leader. They wanted people to look up to them, and people would ask their advice. Like I remember, you know, going to a family barbecue and there'd be the old uncle who's like, I can name every capital city, you know, because he'd memorized it.
Yeah.
Like, Russia, Moscow. Like and then he'd play the harmonica with his nose. It was like a party trip. And, you know, old people were on top. Then the second the internet came on, oh, I know every capital. Shut up, granddad. I'm watching a woman fart on a cake on TikTok.
Yeah.
You know, it's over. Now it's the other way around. Oh, can you help me connect my TV to the Wi-Fi? I want to watch Antique Roadshow. You know what I mean? Like it flipped.
They're coming to you for the wisdom,
right?
To the young.
Yeah, my dad calls me all the time. The TV won't connect to the internet. Oh, what do I do? Help! Looking for advice. So it's like just flipped.
It's like a flip on like ancient Japanese culture where they would go to the elder for those like kernels of wisdom. Like about life and stuff.
That's right. Yeah.
It's like you're not doing that now.
Yeah.
You're not like, what's it like to have a broken heart, granddad?
You turn into ChatGPT for that.
Yeah. It's more like he's like, how do you watch Scrubs? You know, like
yeah. No, well, where the younger, how do you think Greta Thunberg got into the UN? She was there to fix a projector originally. Yeah. And then they, you know, she was just helping out all the old UN people, because you got to be like fucking 60 or 70 to be in the UN.
Yeah.
You know, because you've got to be at the end of your career. And she was just there, and it's just like, oh, what do you think about climate change while you're here? You know?
Yeah.
Working on the laptop. How do I open the laptop? Oh,
Since you fixed the PowerPoint presentation, you can do a speech. You can do a little speech.
Yeah. Yeah. No, but I mean, just joking, but like the flip of, it does kind of is symbolic of the flip from like we turn to the elders, but now just culturally because of technology, and that's kind of part of it. We just switch to young people now for everything. We look to them for their looks, for their advice, for their like that's why pop stars, young, good-looking people, that's what we look to. They're in all the ads, they're in all the movies, they're all the celebrities. You know?
Yeah, everything's like got marine collagen in it now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's all youth.
Yeah.
It's like
don't get old, whatever you do.
Yeah.
Don't get old.
There's a gun to your head and the bullet's engraved with the word irrelevant.
Yeah.
Now.
What'd you say about that Japanese guy who like freaked out because they invented the lights and he preferred candles?
Yeah, he basically, when they brought out electric lighting, he freaked out, like had an existential crisis.
Right, because that was such a radical technology.
In Japan at the time, this was like the turn of the 20th century or whatever.
Right.
Everything had this really nice candle lighting and stuff. He liked the way the candles lit up the miso soup and stuff. And then the electric lights came out and he had a complete existential crisis and was going to commit seppuku over it.
Right.
Because it was going to ruin the lighting.
Right. That's crazy to think that technology, even then, was radical. And now we just see new technologies every day.
For him, the light switch was like ChatGPT to us.
Right. Radical and intrusive. And
like he's like, how am I going to see all the nice dark tones?
Yeah, he would like the candlelight on his sushi platter that has avocado and fresh salmon. He wanted to see the candlelight over that.
Yeah.
Or the katsu curry.
The
perhaps.
miso glaze.
Or maybe he just liked the tuna sashimi or teriyaki.
I get it.
Candle
where it's coming from.
Well, candlelight is nicer when you've
I don't think I would have committed seppuku, but
got a seaweed salad.
I would be sad.
Yeah. I don't think I would have killed myself because the lighting was different.
Yeah. I mean, I've been to parties and share houses where the lighting has made me suicidal because it's so fluorescent.
Why do they do that at 7-Elevens and shit? You're already depressed because you're going into 7-Eleven late at night. They've got to make it like a fucking interrogation room.
It's like an interrogation room, and then there's a neon lit up Monster Energy logo hanging off the side like a mezuzah. You know what I mean? So that's blaring at you too.
Tempting you in a way.
Like get a Monster Energy drink and disrupt your circadian rhythms with the fluorescent light.
So bright.
Drenching your retinas.
So bright, like a clinic. A clinic where just drunk people stumble in to buy Samboy chips.
But if you wear sunglasses to go in, they think you're a serial killer, but you're just trying to get REM sleep.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
Like it makes it worse if you go in with sunglasses. Like they think you're going to like shoot
rob the place, yeah, but it's just because they make it so bright.
It's just because you've been listening to the Huberman Experience or whatever.
One of those, self-help podcasts where it's like, don't get blue light after midnight.
It's a melatonin thing. And you eat those shapes or whatever with the trans fats.
Trans fats.
It's burning your esophagus.
Yeah.
Like you've just been to 7-Eleven, you're already filled with regret.
Self-hate.
And now you can feel the shapes like cutting.
The chemicals on the flavoring, the crazy flavor enhancers.
It reminds me when I used to be a glassy. The person who picks up the glasses that are done. You just felt like the Grim Reaper.
Right.
Just with the scythe, like just coming and scooping people's drinks.
Why the Grim Reaper?
Because I think the bartender represents life. It's
reality.
God's nectar coming out of the tap. You know, it's that fresh beer or that fresh cocktail. The glassy is like the Grim Reaper coming to remind you that things end.
That's profound, yeah.
And I felt it with people treat you like you're the Grim Reaper when you're a glassy.
Right.
Because they've got the drink and they've also got PTSD from the time that half their schooner was taken because they looked in the other direction.
And you took it, yeah.
And so you represent...
You represent the fun times coming to an end.
And
you
also,
had your fun and it's over. Now someone in reality has to come through in daggy clothes and actually clean up. It's like a reminder that, there's a normal reality. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're like things come to an end. And that's what you represent. So they clutch it to them. They'll clutch their drinks because they think you're going to prematurely...
Steal it.
Take it into your...
Nest.
Kind of death basket.
Right, yeah.
Death bucket.
Yeah. Don't take my drink into the death bucket.
So that was not a good job for feeling good.
No.
About yourself.
That's an
humanity.
interesting perspective when you were a glassy.
But I just remember, I don't know why I mentioned, but after that, I used to just punch a cone and then eat a whole carton of Fruit Loops by myself as the sun rose.
Wow, because you were working till the wee hours.
Yeah, and I would eat them so fast because of the munchies that I'd rip the top of my mouth open.
Jesus
with
Christ.
The Fruit Loops. And my mouth would start bleeding and like I'd have indigestion and my mouth would be bleeding as the sun came up.
Right. So you would have liked a trough at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
That's trough-like behavior. Stoners would love a trough.
Oh, yeah.
That's what you're really out for.
Just smoke a bong and then get led into the trough all confused and so on. Because it'd be good because sometimes you smoke weed in public, you're just really confused.
Yeah, totally.
Like when I smoke weed in public, I feel like a dementia patient.
Oh, yeah.
I remember I held a Coke for 4 hours that was empty because I just forgot that I had do you know what I mean? I was watching Oppenheimer holding an empty Coke.
Wow.
Like at the cinema with one of those big jump. And I remember someone was like, you can just put that in the
They grabbed your arm.
Yeah, you do
put
feel
it down. Oh no, I totally.
Dementia.
I remember like my brother was racing cars, like a more terrifying place, to be stoned you couldn't find than a racetrack. And he's like a racing car driver. He's racing cars around. And I was just stoned, just walking around, just like confused. I didn't know where I was, what I was meant to do. And I reached in my pocket and there was just a golf ball and a pair of underwear. I was like, what the fuck, man? Why do I have this? Why do I have a golf ball, a rubber band, and a pair of underwear?
Yeah.
It's just strange. And I just remember looking at that, just going, what the fuck? Like, what is going on? Because you just get confused and you're so out of it and so not detached from reality. You end up just pacing around, just walking, trying to make sense. Like, I can't sit stoned and just be in a room with people. I got to go out, get away.
Yeah.
Go for a walk, stoned.
Could you go to a trough?
Too scared. Yeah. When the terror is over, when it's all over, then I'll go to the trough. Then I get the munchies afterwards. I find that a lot with drugs. Not that I do a lot of them these days, but if you take a microdose of mushrooms, the good bit's the way down after the peak. That's the same with when I used to smoke weed. Is like the stone bit was terrifying, but then afterwards you felt tired and hungry and,
Yeah.
kind of that bit was nicer.
I always found being stoned in public, I would always make a mistake.
Oh, yeah.
Like I would catch an express train to Toowoomba or something, like it'd be something bad like that.
Oh, yeah.
And then that would wake you up. You'd be like, I'm actually on an express train. Like I can't
to
get
another
off.
city 2 hours
and you start
away.
phoning people up and stuff, and you're like, I'm on an express train. I don't know what's happened.
Man, I remember smoking. I was out at Kingaroy, just a regional town with just pub comics, and we just had this gig in the middle of nowhere. We drove out there, just some shitty fucking gig, and one of them said, we've got this drug from Vanuatu. It's called Lost. It's called Lost. And I was like, oh yeah, that's weird. And they were smoking it, and I smoked it, and they went inside, and I lost my grip on reality. I was like, what the fuck? And I was just walking around going, holy fuck, I don't know what's going on. Who am I? Where am I? Like, and I remember walking along as it slowly ended going like, that's a footpath. That's a sign. That's a fence. Like I was recalibrating like what reality is.
That's the good thing, what you said, because you do a director's commentary on your own body. So you start going, I am holding a Coke right now. I remember doing that, like you're holding it, like if you don't apply pressure, it'll fall.
Yeah.
And that's the same with driving stoned, where you're like, I have to hold the wheel and press you overanalyze.
Oh man, and that's why socializing is a nightmare. Because I remember like you'd be talking, you're like, you are talking now. That has been said. Now they are listening. They don't seem to understand why you are talking. Like you're analyzing, and it's just like there's like an echo. You say that and then you're like, why did I say that? Did I say that? Did they hear it?
Your life is a DVD.
Yeah.
And you're doing the director's commentary as the film unfolds.
Yeah, and it's not positive.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Like you're looking at them and you're like, awkward silence, has it been initiated? Awkward silence continues, like say something, can't.
Yeah.
Move to another area in the room. Like it's terrifying. It's like when you're watching that DVD extra bonus. The bonus features are unlocked.
Yeah.
On your
and
DVD experience.
Of the worst, most boring. Yeah.
Horror.
Standing in
horror
room.
Movie.
Awkward distance between people. This is a strange place to stand. Awkward initiated. People distant, confused.
Go home maybe. There's always that. Like go home maybe now. Is it weird to leave now? Maybe stay.
Oh man,
so
leaving is a nightmare stoned socially because first of all you get stoned, then you're terrified, then you standing awkwardly, not sure, and then you're like must leave. How? And then you go, well, I can't go. Hey, Stacey, what's up? That was a cool party and shit. I actually got to leave. That's way too socially daunting. It's already hard enough sober to just leave for no reason. Like I remember one time. I stopped smoking weed because it was such a terrifying experience. But I was in LA and they had the weed shops. And I was like, well, little nostalgic part of me was like, just buy a joint from the shop and get like a low fucking percentage body focused, like some new fandangle fucking weed that isn't as bad. So I bought a single joint for like $5 or something. And I was like, I want the weak stuff and I want it to be body stone. And the woman was sort of like, yeah, I mean, I think this is more sativa. This is more, and you could kind of tell that she didn't really know what she was talking about. She's like, yeah, this is the body one. Anyway, my mate who I was staying with, like, he went out to get something. So I just thought, fuck it, I'll have a smoke. 2 puffs, I was fucked, like just fucked. And he had this dog that was just really angry. And it was just sitting there just growling at me like, and I'm just sitting there stoned. I'm like, fuck, man, I can't be here. I've got to go. Like, if this guy comes back, I can't talk to him. And so then I just left his house. And then I got to the street waiting for an Uber. And then I'm like, I can't just leave. I can't just leave. He's ducked around the corner. He's going to come back. The house is empty. You can't do that. That's crazy. So now I'm pacing up and down his street. And then I call him. I'm like, I got to go, man. And he's like, dude, I'm just coming around the corner. Just wait. And I'm like, I can't. And then he pulls in and I'm just walking up and down his driveway. And he's like, what the fuck is going on? I just left you. You're inside. Now you're pacing the street. And I'm like, I'm sorry, man. I got to go. And he's like, okay. I'm like, I'm too stoned and gotten an Uber and just drove home, just terrified. And
it really does make leaving hard. And people don't talk about that enough.
Yeah.
That being stoned in public makes leaving really hard.
Oh, yeah.
I don't feel like people talk about that, about how hard it is to leave.
Leaving stoned,
social things.
Leaving stoned socially is a nightmare. It's the hardest part. Almost as hard as actually being there. Yeah. People call it smoke bombing, don't they? Socially, when you just disappear without saying goodbye. If I was stoned, at a function that was scary enough, I would literally smoke bomb to escape. Like if someone said, hey, here's a smoke bomb, it's actually going to go off, cause fire alarms. Yeah. Like, but you'll be able to get away without actually seeing anyone. I'd probably literally throw a smoke grenade.
Yeah, I relate to that.
I feel like that would be less, intrusive or less scary.
Than doing just an Irish goodbye or whatever.
Yeah, than having to bump into people. Oh, yeah, good to see you, man. You come, like, what are you doing? Are you leaving? Smoke grenade.
Well, sometimes you leave and you're just like, maybe I should go back because I think I was having fun there. But I don't know. Like, was that fun?
And then at that point, you're standing outside waiting for the Uber and you're pacing thinking, do I go back in? Do I leave?
Yeah.
And then you've got your thumb hovering over the cancel button.
Yeah.
Because you're like, fuck, was that enough fun to stay and so on? Difficult. That was kind of, you might be missing out on a fun time, but then you should go. That'll be easier. So now you're just pacing and then Muhammed or, whatever. Whoever pulls up to
yeah.
Why is it Muhammed? I said Muhammed because you have that joke about how what's his name?
Muhammad's approaching.
Yeah, what's his name? The guy who's got a fatwa out against him.
Oh, Salman Rushdie.
Salman Rushdie doesn't like it when he orders Uber Eats because it says Muhammad's approaching.
Yeah, it's he knows it's going to be fine. Yeah, it's just more the memory.
Right,
like that sentence isn't good. Because with a fatwa hovering over
when
you,
you've
is
got
it?
A fatwa.
Like approaching is not a neutral term either. Like if if you said like someone's approaching, like you're not like, oh great, they're approaching.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
It sounds like a torpedo or something, don't you think? Like torpedo approach. Like there's something.
It is not neutral. It's got something to it.
You wouldn't say my best friend's approaching. Now. Like there's something kind of clinical slash.
Muhammad's coming over. Oh, that's a little bit better.
But people do say like a shark is approaching. Like it's often menacing.
Which for someone with a fatwa over them.
I think Salman Rushdie even the words would be enough. Right. Even though he knows it's fine.
Right. He knows it's one of the most common names in the world.
But just the PTSD.
There'd be some trauma.
Yeah. From having been on house arrest for 2 decades.
I hope people listening understand who's, Salman Rushdie. It's an old reference almost, isn't it? Because he wrote, just to clarify for people who don't know who he is, he wrote a book called what's it called?
Satanic Verses.
Satanic Verses, and it was deemed it was deemed offensive to the Prophet Muhammad, correct?
And then the Ayatollah
put
a fatwa
on him. And so people have literally tried to kill him multiple times.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when he gets Uber Eats and Muhammad's approaching, can bring back flashbacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the memories. If Salman Rushdie got stoned and ordered Uber Eats and then got a Muhammad's approaching.
Right.
Do you know what? Do you think he's going to be chilled?
Yeah. He's like, fucking should have smoked that bomb and be fucking freaking out.
Look, I'm just going to pick it up.
Yeah, leave it outside.
Yeah.
Leave it there. It's fine.
You can just take a photo of the pad thai or whatever.
Appreciate it. Thank you. 5 stars.
5 stars. Or I can just pick it up from the restaurant if that's possible.
Yeah.
I like the idea of Salman Rushdie only picking up his takeaway.
Right, for that reason.
To avoid getting a text saying Muhammad's approaching.
Because it brings back so much trauma.
So he goes down to the Nando's and just picks it up. But his wife's like, we're just going to have a night in. He's like, I'll drive. I'll go out and get it. It's just, I don't agree with the gig economy. I don't think it's right to have a guy on a moped go through a hailstorm, morally.
Yeah.
Like he tries to not admit that it's because of the Muhammad's approaching text.
Yeah. We always come back to this, I know, but that time we saw a story in the Gold Coast Bulletin that was Muhammad Arab.
The gold.
This is true. I know we brought this up before, so sorry if you've heard this on the podcast before, but the headline was Muhammad Arab punches paramedic.
What I like about it is the word economy.
Because
do you know what I mean?
His name was Muhammad Arab, just to be clear. It wasn't saying Muhammad, an Arab. It was his name was Muhammad Arab. It's the only time in the history of Murdoch Press that they've used the full name, because they always put the last name.
Yeah,
well, they can't put Arab punched him. But they were just filled with delight as a right-wing newspaper to be like, fuck it, it's the religion and the fucking race. I can't fucking believe it. That's
right-wing catnip. Because you've got Muhammad Arab, which is good. Punches paramedic. So you've got
perfect.
Punching a vulnerable
group, and it's the prophet, and it's the race. So it's the religion, the race, punches, vulnerable group.
I'm sure
it's just like they were just like, oh my god, they fucking can't believe this.
Murdoch was
they were just
probably like, took the rest of the day off after that one.
Yeah. Yeah, they called him.
Happy.
You're not going to believe this one, Rupert. He's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. There would have been a lot of mirth.
Front page. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I think Muhammad Arab is
an interesting name.
Muhammad Arab is approaching. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, it's like if your name was Jesus Caucasian. Like just if you map it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It always makes me laugh, yeah. Jesus Caucasian. It's a tough one. I mean, it's a tough one to live with. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
You know? Christian Black.
Vishnu Hindu. Like it is.
Oh, fuck.
It is. Yeah, because you've got the prophet and the race. Like it's
a crazy combo.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
But it's just a funny name too.
It is, yeah.
It's like,
well, Arab.
The name's Arab. Muhammad Arab. Like if it was James Bond or whatever.
Yeah. Like he sits down at the cocktail bar or whatever. Arab. They're like, excuse me, is there someone, like, they think you're being racist? Like, they look over their shoulder, like, Arab. Like, there's one nearby. No, I'm Arab.
The name's...
Yeah, it's like, oh, you're Arabic. No, I'm Arab. Muhammad Arab.
Muhammad Arab. It's a hard name to get through customs, I think, fuck. As well.
Arab. Muhammad Arab.
I think straight after 9/11, a hard time to travel with that name.
Muhammad Arab.
Like, because they'd think it was a prank.
I think the system would be like, like, I think that would trigger a few alarms.
It is weird. The airport is a place where, like, there's so many rooms in the airport you only get to see if you answer questions wrong.
Right. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Like, there's all these rooms.
It's like a puzzle.
Yeah.
It's like an escape room, kind of, almost in a sense. You solve this puzzle. I am a terrorist. Tick.
Yeah.
At the airport survey questionnaire to get in the country, you get a special access to a new room.
Yeah, it's like a game show.
It's not a good room. It's not a good room. It's a put your hands against the wall type room. But it is a new room.
We're going to probe your ass, photograph you and fingerprint you extensively in this new, you've just won a prize.
Right.
Which is you discover a new room.
Well, I just lost my gold membership with Virgin. So it's like, I wonder if I can get into a new room by saying I'm Muhammad Arab and I do identify with ISIS in like a statement to the check-in person, just to get into a new room.
Because that's like a lounge. It's like a lounge pass.
It is a lounge because they probably push you against the wall, sit you down in a bright room, interrogate you about your intentions, thoroughly go through your family history. But in amongst all that, they'd be like, "Would you like a cup of coffee or a glass of water?"
Yeah,
you probably would get some kind of refreshment. You probably would get some kind of refreshment, I think.
Eventually,
yeah,
because they'd keep you overnight too. I reckon you'd get to choose a meal from the airport food court.
Right.
But I think then if you answer questions wrong in that one, there's probably another room.
Okay.
I reckon there'd be a tertiary room for people who fuck up in the second room.
Oh, so right. I see.
I reckon Chappelle Corby knows the Bali airport.
Right.
Like through and through.
Right.
Like she would have seen all of it.
Right. When she was smuggling drugs, she's seen all the special. It's like a VIP room in a nightclub.
It's like a tour of a gym.
Right. It's like there's the backstage, which probably we've seen when we've had stuff taken out of our bags. Then there's like the real VIP section where it's like, we found drugs in your bag, come through here. And you get to, well, look, this could be life in prison, and, but I have been down the hall behind the airport into the secret room that, not many people get to.
I went to the death penalty room where that's where you will get the death penalty now.
Yeah, but you get to see that room.
Yeah, only few have seen it.
It's quite an autistic approach. It's like, yeah, look, I am going to die, but I do get to see a new room.
Which is good. Like if an alien was looking down, they would think that the people going to those extra rooms had won the game.
Right.
They're like, look at the airport game. Look at these losers. They have to leave straight away.
This guy got into the center of the whole complex.
Muhammad Arab gets to stay the night in a different room. Like he won the airport.
Yeah, I see.
By unlocking that room.
I see, yeah. I like it.
We just don't think about these forgotten rooms.
That's true, yeah. That's
that they build for us at the airport. The airport's weird though because you could be on a long haul flight watching a nice movie and then land and then get the death penalty in the same place where you were just getting like an orange juice.
Yeah,
like it can be a big jump.
That's true. I see what you mean because there's all that nice service. There's bars, there's restaurants, there's airplane service, and then just with one little mishap, bit of cocaine in Singapore in your sock.
Yeah,
and it's like, oh, I was having a cocktail in the air, and now I'm about to be shot.
Yeah,
there's a big jump for one building.
That's a big day.
You just arrived in a new country to start your exciting new life in Singapore, or you just landed in the same building to start a new life, but you carried some cocaine in your sock and now you're going to be shot to death.
Yeah. I always feel like
in the same building.
In the Singapore airport, I'm like, you can be in the lounge having a cocktail or be finding out you'll be shot by firing squad in the same building.
It's a vast, yeah.
Like you can be relaxing or death.
Relaxing on death does sound like Saudi Arabia.
That should be the slogan.
Well, isn't
relax
that what you say?
Or die.
Yeah. Well, doesn't their flag have a sword on it?
It's palm trees with a sword.
Yeah, relax or die.
Yeah.
It's like you can relax here, but also you could have your head cut off.
Yeah. But
both can happen.
Because it's a palm tree with a sword through it, which is like relax, but not too much. Like within limits. Like be careful as well.
Yeah.
Like have a pina colada, but don't have one because it's got alcohol.
Yeah.
It'll stone you.
Yeah. We'll kill you. We'll fucking kill you.
Welcome
though. But yeah, watch out. Welcome, but watch out. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Thanks, Rathy. Thanks for listening. See you next time.